The rule of the Franks. In 1204, after the sacking of Constantinople, the Frankish crusaders captured the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire and began their 57-year rule of the region. After chasing out the Eastern Roman aristocracy, the crusaders selected the Count of Flanders, Baldwin IX, to become the Emperor of Constantinople. The remnants of the Eastern Roman Empire was split into three parts: the Despotate of Epirus, the Empire of Trebizond, and the Nicaean Empire. The rest was under the rule of the Franks and was governed by several fiefdoms. The Crusaders' original plan was to reinstall Isaac II as emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire after making a deal with his son Alexius IV while they sacked the city of Zara, but he was unable to provide them the money he promised them. After the Crusaders sacked Constantinople on April 12, 1204 AD, they occupied the city for over a month, trying to figure out what to do stranded in the city. They were all excommunicated by the Pope of Rome and had no goal in mind. They offered the crown of the Eastern Roman Empire to their godfather, the Doge of Venice, Enrico Dandolo, who financed the whole affair, but he turned down their offer, but was awarded the title despot and lord of 3/8 of the Roman Empire. He would die a year later at the age of 98. Baldwin won the honor of being the first emperor of Constantinople over the leader of the crusade, Boniface, after the Venetians threw their support his way. His reign would last only about a year before he was killed somewhere in Bulgaria. He was succeeded by his brother Henry, who reigned from 1205 to 1216 before he was poisoned to death on June 11, 1216. Peter II was chosen as the third emperor. He left France to travel to Rome and was crowned on April 9, 1217, but he never made it to Constantinople. Like a dumbass, he went through the Despotate of Epirus and was captured and died in prison. His wife Yolanda, who made it to Constantinople, ruled in his absence until 1219. Peter's son Robert I ruled the empire from 1221 until 1228. His empire was slowly losing territory to the Despotate of Epirus and the Empire of Nicaea. After suffering a humiliating defeats to the Eastern Romans, he was chased out of his own capital, and after begging Rome for help, he died in exile in 1228. Baldwin II was named the new emperor on 1228, but he wasn't crowned until April 15, 1240. By the time he reigned, his empire was nearly gobbled up by the remnants of the Eastern Roman Empire. He toured Western Europe to raise money for his fight against them, but he was heavily indebted. Baldwin owed the Venetians so much money that he had to use his son as collateral. His empire was so broke that he had to pawn off many of the Constantinople's ancient relics that weren't stolen during the sack of 1204. He sold the relic, the Crown of Thorns, to French King Louis IX and a few others. In 1261, the Empire of Nicaea successfully recaptured Constantinople from the Franks and re-established the Eastern Roman Empire, ending the Frankish rule over the region. Baldwin ran out of the city so fast that he left his scepter and crown behind. Baldwin remained the Emperor of Constantinople in exile, living on handouts until his death in 1273 at the age of 56. He hung around Italy, hoping to find someone dumb enough to finance a crusade to reclaim Constantinople for himself, but the crisis of the Sicilian Vespers ended that. His son, Philip I, was named Emperor of Constantinople after the death of his father in 1273, but it was a useless title, and he got to enjoy it for about a decade before dying on December 12, 1283. The restored Eastern Roman Empire would reclaim most of its territory, while the Franks would hang on to a few of their fiefdoms in the region until the fall of the Duchy of Athens in 1458. The title of Emperor of Constantinople would be passed down to several people before disappearing after the death of Philip I. His daughter Catherine I was crowned empress on December 15, 1283. Her daughter would be crowned empress of Constantinople on October 11, 1307, after the death of her mother. She would reign until 1346. The title would be passed along to the Prince of Taranto, Philip II, and his son, James of Bow, before it was extinguished in 1383 when no heir was produced from his marriage to Agnes of Durazzo. Well, that ends the story of the rule of the Franks in Constantinople, a forgotten piece of Eastern Roman Empire history which would eventually lead to its demise. They would never fully recover financially from the sack and the loss of its grip on the silk industry in Europe, and control of the trade in the Black Sea and Asia was its death knell. Thanks for watching another episode of the Byzantine history of the Eastern Roman Empire. My name is Joseph Ulibas, your illustrious narrator, and I bid you adieu.